Hello. It's Friday. It's Kevin. It's live from lockdown. Here we are. Thank you for joining me. I'm hoping you're joining me. It looks like there's some people there. I'm not seeing comments, and I'm having some trouble with a couple of technical things today. So let's hope you're able to tune in. No emergency texts. So I'll welcome. I'll carry you on. Here I am entering year 2 of Live from Lockdown. When I started doing this a year ago, I never imagined I'd still be doing it in a year. And I hate to say it, it's now possible for me to imagine that I'll still be doing this another year from now. But let's wait and see what happens. I'm going to start, as I usually do, by acknowledging where I am. I'm coming to you in my somewhat nomadic lockdown studio, currently in the village of Leith, in the city of Edinburgh, in the country of Scotland. A city and a country with a very rich history, many people and many adventures over many millennia. Scots and Celts and Picts and invading Romans and invading English. I'd like to acknowledge the many people who have gone before me and helped to contribute to the very rich history of this marvelous place. I also like to thank the very many wonderful people who have shown me a huge amount of hospitality since I've been here. I feel very welcomed amidst this place, which is new to me as a Canadian in Scotland, and I want to thank all of you locals who have made me feel like it's a new home for me. So thank you so much. As well as a geographic acknowledgement, there's a bit of a temporal one today. We're in the midst of some very important holy days for some people. People of the Jewish faith, marking the end of the Passover celebration, comes to an end this weekend and coincides with what's probably the most important holiday in the Christian calendar, Good Friday today and Easter on Sunday. So best to all of you who mark those very important days. And thanks if you're joining me in the midst of those celebrations. Thank you very much. I opened with a tune called My Baby Just Cares For Me, which is a tune that I've played with quite a number of really great singers. Got a couple of different versions and a couple of great singers that I've had the chance to play with. But I'd like to send that one out, that kind of reggae-inspired version, to a fabulous singer by the name of Sharon McLeod, who, Sharon celebrated her birthday yesterday. Yesterday? Yes. So I want to wish Sharon a very happy birthday. Sharon's a great singer from Toronto, with whom I've had the pleasure of doing a lot of work, but now lives in Nice in France. And I had a great adventure a couple of years ago visiting her in Nice. We did a gig at a fabulous little club in the old city of Nice downtown. It was probably the hottest I've ever been. And I'm not talking about my playing. I'm talking about the temperature. Hot and sweaty in late June, in the heat of summer, on the Côte d'Azur in France. And so that was a real fabulous memory. And Sharon, I hope you had a great birthday. And I hope you're keeping well amidst the crazy times of COVID. I'm going to check here and see if this is working. Let's hope that it's working. I'm a little nervous about my technology today. It hasn't been the best week for that. Yeah, looks like we got some people there. So, hooray. I'm just going to trust that's working. I'm going to carry on. I'm not seeing comments, but maybe I'm not supposed to see comments. Maybe nobody's commenting. I'll say, as I always do near the beginning of this show, that donations are more than welcome if you're able. If you've got an income and you're able to support live music endeavors like this, it's really appreciated. It continues to be a very tough time to be in this business. And if you aren't able to make a donation, or if you are and you want to support somebody else this week, of course that's fine. I'm very grateful for the fabulous and very consistent support that I get from so many great people. So thanks for that. If you're able to, check the notes on the side of the Facebook page for a link to my PayPal account and my Ko-Fi account. If you're in Canada, you can send me an e-transfer. My email address is on the bottom of the screen here. And really appreciate all the love that so many of you show me. There we go. Thanks as always to Ola, who sent me a note saying things are sounding okay. So I'm glad you're there. Bit of a time zone shift going on over the last few weeks. We're back settled in the normal time for everybody. This should be at the time you're used to seeing me, if you're used to seeing me, now that the UK is on summertime and back in sync with daylight savings in North America. A couple of funny weeks. Speaking of North America, I had a nice exchange with a good friend, Doug Merriam, earlier this week. Doug from Ottawa. After last week's show, we had a bit of a back and forth on email, and he sent me a couple of requests, and he got them in just at the right time when I was thinking about what I might play this week. So I'm going to play a couple of requests from Doug. I don't know when Doug's birthday is, so I'm not thinking of this as a birthday request, but Doug, anyway, just a couple of requests because you had some good ideas. This is a tune that I played once before, but was happy to take a run at again. It was also a favorite of a friend of mine who's no longer with us by the name of Brian Heyman. Every time it rains, pennies from heaven. There you go. A wee little run at Pennies from Heaven. Thank you, Doug. I hope that was okay for you. That's a tricky tune. I should have warned you too. There's a couple of tunes in a row in the key of C major, just the way it fell out this week. That one was in C. The next one's going to be in C. And if that blands you out, I'm sorry. Lots of white notes, but that's what we have to do. So carry on. I'm going to play both of Doug's requests back to back because they kind of fit and they were for a good point in this show. Two kind of old, delightful standards. Doug, I should say, I've talked about him before. Doug is a great guitarist and singer who I first met when he was in my combo at Jazzworks Jazz Camp many years ago, and we've been friends ever since. He makes the best grilled cheese sandwiches in town. He and his partner Alex, anyway, and they've treated me to those over lunch a couple of times. Doug has had some health challenges that have gotten in the way of his ability to make music lately, and that is really a sad thing for me. It's a real loss to the world of music that Doug's not playing and singing as much as he used to. And it struck me in that light that this next request was kind of appropriate, because unfortunately Doug ain't misbehaving much these days. Anyway, this is my attempt at Ain't Misbehavin'. Kind of a tricky melody to do by yourself on the guitar, but we'll see how I do. Again, in the key of C if you're playing along. Tune by Fats Waller, I believe, wrote this one. Ain't Misbehavin'. Sorry. Once again for Doug Merriam. Thank you very much, Doug. And to all of you for listening. A couple of old standards. Cheers to that. I'm having a perplexing experience where even though I tell you that I don't read the comments on my show because I can't get distracted by them, I'm not seeing any comments, and I don't really know why. But anyway, I can see that there's people watching, so I'm going to trust that that's working. Ola texted me, said everything was fine, and maybe there's comments. Maybe you're all speechless. I'll be able to read them later. That's what I do anyway. So I mentioned Sharon McLeod and her birthday celebration and did a dedication. There's a few other birthdays. I also want to say a very happy birthday again to my very good friend Glenn Anderson, the drummer in a band called Red Hot Ramble. I wished Glenn a happy birthday, Glenn and his partner Roberta. I wished them happy birthdays last week, although Glenn's birthday was actually yesterday, and we managed to hook up on Zoom and have a hello, which was really great. Glenn's had his first jab as well. We traded some notes about AstraZeneca and getting that in our arm and how that felt. Happy about that. A bunch of other birthdays, and I've taken to saying this every week. You know, if it's your birthday and I miss it, please don't take it personally. It's just about whose birthdays I happen to remember who crossed my paths. But here's who I've noticed this week as well. Morag Edward is celebrating a birthday earlier this week. Morag is a great example of the wonders of doing these shows on the internet because she's a neighbor. She has a studio not far from here in Leith. She's a regular listener. We've got a bunch of mutual friends. I believe she's from Aberdeenshire originally. She's got family in Vancouver like I do, but I've never actually met her. We've only met by trading notes on Facebook, and I sincerely hope that I'm able to rectify that situation one of these days. If she's watching, or if you see her link, check her page out. She's a fabulous portrait artist, does some beautiful, really interesting paintings, and we've actually had some exchanges about the possibility of her doing a portrait of me one of these days. So I'm really hoping that happens. That'd be cool. Morag, very happy birthday to you. Another great longtime friend, Janine Gleaner, had a birthday this week. Today? Yesterday? Now I've lost track of which day everybody's birthday is. I actually met Janine on the ferry to Toronto Island years ago. We both had our bicycles and were crossing that brief cross Toronto Harbour. I was just on my way to the beach. I think she was going to a work event. And we've been in touch ever since. And Janine occasionally tunes into the show and has been a great friend, a big supporter of the arts. And I've seen her at lots of shows and lots of places over the years. So Janine, happy birthday to you. And finally, I want to wish a happy birthday to Sam Broverman, whose birthday was yesterday. Somebody on Facebook referred to him as her favorite April Fool. Sam, I've mentioned often, he's a great singer as well as a statistician, and has often sent requests that I've tried to play. And I hope, Sam, if you're listening, I hope you had a very happy birthday. I know that Sam is a big Johnny Mercer fan, so I thought it might be nice. I don't have special requests for all of those birthdays I mentioned. I'm sorry, couldn't figure them all out. But Sam's a big Johnny Mercer fan, and I thought I would take the chance to learn a new Johnny Mercer tune, or a new to me Johnny Mercer tune. And that's what I'm going to do for Sam at the moment. This is a tune that Henry Mancini wrote, and Johnny Mercer wrote the lyrics. And it's called Moon River. And I just got to do a little adjustment here. I don't need that anymore. And okay. I'll set up a bit of a background loop. And then, oh, look at that. I complain about no comments. And there's a bunch of comments. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Ola. Yeah, here's Moon River, once again in the key of C major. Moon River, Johnny Mercer, Henry Mancini. Happy birthday, Sam Broverman. I'm sure you sing that tune. I don't know if that was your key, but I hope you were able to sing along. Thanks to all of you for joining me. Time for a beautiful ballad. I figured it was time for a beautiful ballad, and I do love that tune. So thank you very much. Switch instruments again. What's my palette? It's the first Friday of April. I hope you survived April Fool's Day, everybody. But the first Friday of the month also means Bandcamp Friday. And a whole bunch of you wonderful listeners have been purchasing recordings of mine, and I really appreciate it. But I will just say again, if you haven't, or if you missed some, or if you want to check out some other great music, Bandcamp is the best platform to buy music online. Very, very supportive. They actually care about musicians, which we can't necessarily say about Spotify and a bunch of the rest of them. And if, again, the links on the side of the Facebook page have got links to my Bandcamp page, where you can go to Bandcamp and check out all kinds of music that you might know or you might not. Sam Broverman himself has some recordings up there on Bandcamp. So please check those out. And today's a great day. Bandcamp Friday means that they waive the fee that they take. So it's a really good day to support musicians. They sent an email around this week that talked about the amount of money that they'd saved musicians and managed to help us, those of us who are trying to sell our wares and keep afloat in the times of COVID. So thanks to Bandcamp. Thanks to all of you. I'll tell you again that I'm still doing some online teaching and recording. So again, if you're looking for a guitar lesson, or, well, not much of a mandolin lesson, but one or two perhaps, or some music theory, or maybe some guitar tracks for your album, I'm set up to record, and I'm always happy to hear from you. My good friend Jerry Trimble, also in Ottawa, has availed herself of my recording services a few times lately, which has been lots of fun. Thank you, Jerry, and might be doing some more of that for her. Mandolin time, yippers, for you mandolin yippers people. I'm going back to the hornpipes. My good friend Fred Thompson, who had a birthday a couple of weeks ago, and also Catherine Nichol, another good friend here in Edinburgh, have been encouraging me to check out the world of traditional Scottish and Irish music, and always told me that the hornpipes are the way in. So I've been digging up hornpipes. I dug this one up from the vault of tunes that Stuart Seidel from Vancouver has sent me. Another one I didn't know, in the key of D major for a change. I'm usually in the key of G major, it being such a friendly mandolin key. D's not far away, just one extra sharp. But Louise Bevan, if you're listening, this is called, the Fisher's Hornpipe. It's tricky. It's not that tricky, but I don't know if I just didn't practice enough. Oh, I know what I also need to say about this. John Farrell, another fabulous friend who I've mentioned a few times, who's been helping me out. Last week, John popped over on almost no notice at all and replaced a tuning machine that had broken on this mandolin. And this week, he took it away for a couple of days, and he put brand new tuners. I don't know if you can see those. Look at that. He replaced the whole set of tuners on this mandolin, and they're better than the last ones. I'm so thankful to have friends who can do repair work like that here in town. So thank you to John. And I was nervous about sending the mandolin away for a few days because I told him I needed to be practicing. So he loaned me a mandolin while he took this one away to fix it. What a guy. So thanks, John. Here we are, my attempt at the Fisher's Hornpipe. I'm going to go through slowly once and remind myself of where the notes are, and I'll try to do it up to speed and at tempo a little bit after that. Play along if you like. Fisher's hornpipe, or some version thereof. Anyway, thank you. Thanks. Hope you're able to play along with that. One of you people who know more about these things than me can help me out with this. Here's the thing that I wonder about. You know, in the world of jazz, when you play eighth notes, what you might call quavers here in the UK, there's kind of two ways to do those. They can be straight. Or they can be swung. And that kind of lilt. And my impression is that the hornpipes are supposed to have that kind of, what the jazz players would call a swung eighth feel, but I don't really understand that. So one of those lessons I got to get. It's tough, you know, being all by yourself. I want to get out to the pub and listen to a couple of sessions and hear some people play these tunes so I know how they're supposed to go. But as we know, there ain't no going to the pub these days. I sure hope that changes. I've been checking in with some friends in Ontario, and it sounds like Ontario is going back into lockdown and getting worse again, which is not how we want it to go. So let's hope we can keep rolling the vaccines out. People can get better. One more birthday I almost forgot about. Another very good friend in Toronto, the wonderful Amanda Martinez. Amanda is a lovely woman and a great mom and an actor and a really fantastic singer that I've had the pleasure of working with a little bit. I've never been her main guitar player, but sometimes when she needs someone, we get together and play a bit. And we've done that over the years. It's been always been a pleasure. She's a delightful singer and mixes a couple of cultures and a bunch of different sources of music. Her dad is from Mexico. And I've played some traditional Mexican tunes and some boleros, which have been really fun for me to learn. This is not a Mexican tune, but it's from that direction, from Ontario. This tune comes from Brazil, and it is a tune that I've had the chance to play with Amanda a few times over the years. It's called Black Orpheus. So Amanda, happy birthday to you. I hope you're having a great time with your family. And in case you're listening, Black Orpheus. Black Orpheus by Louis Bonfa. A wee dedication to Amanda Martinez. Happy birthday to you. And thanks for listening to that. Time for my weekly message of love. And one more tune. Well, it's going to be a long loop. I might go a little over time again tonight. I'm going to do a long loop out and sing a bit at the end of the show for you. So thanks for hanging out, hanging in with me. Oh, look at that. Oh, my goodness. Lots of great people there. Look at that. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Hooray. My usual message of love, I like to start by saying, please wear your mask, stay close to home. My gosh, we're never going to beat this thing. I'm really depressed, especially, as I say, about the news out of Ontario, all the complications about vaccines. I just heard that England has banned travel from a number of countries to try to stem the tide of some variants. I don't know. We got to work together on this one, folks. And if you've been watching regularly, you know that over the last few weeks, I have been restating some principles for a just recovery from the pandemic that I used to have behind me on my show, and I used a lot last year, and I've decided it's time to bring those back because I don't want us to forget that we really need to think about not only rebuilding the world, but building it in a better way. I don't want to go back to normal. As my good friend Boo Watson says, normal's what got us here, so let's try to do something different. So I've been reading you a principle of just recovery every week. The link to these principles, there are a few of them, but the link to these ones are again in the notes on the side of the page. And today it's this one: build resilience to prevent future crises. Something we've got to think about, and we've got to think about together. And I have a really exciting story to tell you, a story I'm really, really happy about. And it's not about governments. Well, it is about small governments. It's not about big governments doing the right thing, because there's not nearly enough of that. But it's an example of people working together to build resilience and make a better world. It goes back to a neighborhood that I'm intimate with and lived in for a long time. And I am about to have a studio in again in Toronto, the Kensington Market neighborhood. Fabulous, fabulous, dynamic, diverse, amazing place with an amazing history. I have the privilege of being the co-chair of a small nonprofit corporation based in Kensington called the Kensington Market Community Land Trust. Now, the idea of a land trust, as you probably know, is to take land out of the commercial market so that it's not getting bought and sold to make landowners wealthy, but traps the value of that land in the community and enables the community to use the value of the land over time. That's what a community land trust is for. And in Kensington Market, we formed this community land trust a number of years ago after coming out of a group that done a lot of great activism trying to preserve the neighborhood. And the goals of the Kensington Market Community Land Trust in particular are to preserve and promote and create affordable housing, and also to preserve the really unique, mixed-use, very diverse and affordable kind of neighborhood that Kensington has been for generations. If you're interested in reading, I hope I put a link. I did put a link in the notes on the side of the page. We got some such exciting news. We've been working for a couple of years with community activists and with the City of Toronto to try to accomplish those goals, to try to build some affordable housing, preserve the nature of the neighborhood. And about a month ago, we learned that a building was for sale in Kensington Market, a building with about a dozen residential units, affordable small apartments, and 5 commercial units on the ground floor. If you haven't been to Kensington, it's a very traditional kind of form where there's street-level commercial at grade and people live upstairs, sort of a medium-sized building for the neighborhood, and a very interesting site with a very interesting history. A couple of years ago, a greedy landlord bought the building and proceeded to issue illegal eviction notices to the tenants under threat of what we call renoviction. The landlord was planning to kick everybody out, renovate the units, and turn it into some kind of a Airbnb ghost hotel and make the housing no longer affordable. An amazing group called Friends of Kensington Market, led by a very good friend of mine named Dominique Russell, who is my co-chair now of the Land Trust. Friends of Kensington, and our fabulous, fabulous city councillor. I'm not going to speak that positively about politicians very often, ever, and certainly not on this show. But Mike Layton a member of City Council in Toronto, is doing a fantastic job. He went out late one night and walked around that building and knocked on doors and handed out leaflets and told people they didn't need to leave and they didn't need to move out, and the threats of eviction were illegal. And Friends of Kensington got involved. People stayed in their housing, fought the landlord back. Those people were able to hang on to their housing. The landlord's now selling the building. And with the help of the City of Toronto, it's quite likely that we, the Kensington Market Community Land Trust, are going to be able to buy that building and make sure that housing stays affordable in perpetuity. And I could not be more excited. You can probably hear by how fast I'm talking about how excited I am. There's a great article that was published in the Toronto Star this week. A link to that, again, is in the notes on the side of the page. Please have a look. It's so exciting. If you're in Toronto and you have an occasion to call your city councillor and encourage them to support the motion that's going to council next week, or you want to make a donation to our cause, please check that out. It's, for me, a fabulous example of the way communities working together can build resilience in a way that individuals can't. And even, people being the benefit of generosity from wealthy, well-meaning individuals can help with these things. And we've had some very important, very generous support to try to get to this place. But it's really about the community working together. And that is how we're going to build resilience to prevent future crises. We've got to force our governments to take action, but we got to work together, folks. And I'm so excited to be able to tell you that story. I'm so happy to be part of that initiative, even though I'm a long way from home. I'm spending a lot of time every day for the last month working on that one, and I'm really excited about it. So check it out, and let's try to keep that in mind. Community land trusts, other ways of keeping communities together to build resilience. All right, I'm going to play one more tune. This is another special request that comes from my good friends Dave and Ola in Bournemouth in England. Really fabulous regular supporters. It's Ola who texts me to tell me there's problems or there aren't problems with my live stream. And they are, amongst others, big friends of Nick Drake. I did a Nick Drake tune a few weeks ago for them. And I'm going to try another one. I'm going to loop this one up, and I'm going to have to make some adjustments. I'm going to loop this up. I'm going to sing the lyric. I'm going to play a bit over it and play it out for the end of the show. And it's tough. I hope I remember all the parts. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Stay well. This is called One of These Things First by the fabulous Nick Drake. Being in tune would help this one go better. Got some notes to remind myself how this goes. Okay. sailor, could have been a cook, real life lover, could have been a book. I could have been a signpost, could have been a clock, as simple as a kettle, steady as a rock. I could be here and now, I would be, I should be, but how? Could it be one of these things first? I could have been one of these things first. I could have been your pillar, could have been your door. I could have stayed beside you, could have stayed for more. Could have been your statue, could have been your friend. Whole long lifetime could have been the end. I could be, you're so true. Would be, I should be through and through. I could have been one of these things first. I could have been one of these things first. I could have been a whistle, could have been a flute, a real life giver, could have been a boot. I could have been a signpost, could have been a clock, as simple as a kettle, steady as a rock. I could be even here, I would be, I should be so near. I could have been one of these things first. I could have been one of these things first. Thanks very much for tuning in again. A year down the road, here we are. I miss you. I love you. I will see you soon.